Okay, so now you're going to help me make sense of this paper. So one of my friends wrote this paper, and it looks, when I was reading through it, a little bit out of order. So our directions say, what order should the paragraphs be in? So we're going to order 1 through 4. What do you think 1 is? If I label paragraph 1, that's probably my what? I want hand raise. Kevin?
The beginning.
The beginning, or my opening paragraph, right? So then 2 would be the following paragraph. 3, so 2 and 3 are my what paragraphs? My hand raise. Alexa?
Body.
Good, my body paragraphs. And then if I put 4 next to a paragraph, that's going to be my what paragraph? My, starts, what do you think? Starts with a C. That's my Leilani. My conclusion. Very good. So then, after we write 1 through 4 on our paragraphs, we're going to then indicate. What does indicate mean? Does anyone know what indicate means? Best guess. What do we think it means? Griffin.
Like look for something?
Yeah, so then we're going to look for something. So we're going to indicate means mark. So we're going to look for something, then mark it. So then we're going to mark what paragraph needs more sentences by putting an MS, and which paragraphs are redundant by writing an R. So if a paragraph is redundant, what does that mean? If it's redundant, what does that mean? What does that mean? Christiana?
Doesn't mean it's not really written correctly.
It might mean that, but it might mean something else too. It's a little tricky. I want to see if you know, Kylan.
Like you need to fix the sentence.
Maybe. Nikki?
Like it repeats.
Yes, good. Redundant means to repeat. So even the word redundant kind of sounds repetitive, right? The syllables in the word. So everyone say with me, redundant.
Redundant.
So that means repetitive. So if we hear the same thing more than once in a paragraph. So I'm going to read the first paragraph, and then I want you guys to help me out with the rest. So the first paragraph says, moreover, my family is a bunch of food fanatics. We love to try new things. The food in Carmel by the Sea area blend food from many different cultures with new twists. The second paragraph says, over the past 4 years, I've been playing volleyball at Providence College. During my 4 years, I've been able to travel to both Florida and California. After being able to experience both states, I would love to travel back to California. I would not go to Florida because I visited there for over 20 years. If I were to vacation in California, I would love to visit Carmel by the Sea and explore the beautiful area and the beaches they have to offer. The third paragraph says, all in all, I am looking forward to traveling to Carmel by the Sea, California. Exploring new places with my family is something that I really enjoy. Additionally, the area has something to offer for every person in my family. We can play, swim, eat, and relax in a beautiful town. While Florida has some great things to offer, I want to explore a new part of the country. And my last paragraph says, my dad has always loved to visit California. Every time we talk about doing a family vacation somewhere, my dad always pitches a city in California that he wants to visit. One of the most beautiful places he has told me about is Carmel by the Sea. The food in this town is great, and it blends foods from many cultures. Okay, so it sounds pretty familiar to the other paper we read, right? Yeah. But this paper seems a little bit more what? Yeah, that's a good way to describe it. It seems a little off, right? So help me fix it. Why does it seem off? Why does it seem off? I think we should start by putting the paragraphs in the right order. That might help fix some things for us. So what are some things we can do paragraph-wise to help put it in the right order? What do you think our first paragraph is, Sophia?
Over the past 4 years, I've been playing volleyball at Providence College.
Good. All right, Sophia. So I want you to come up. And what are you going to put on that line? A what? Beautiful. Great job. So she put a 1 right on that line. What do you think my second paragraph is? What do you think my second paragraph is? Elliot.
The fourth one.
Beautiful. What are you going to put on that line? Good job. Good. And my third paragraph. Who can help me out with my third paragraph? Kevin?
The first one?
The first one. What does it start with?
Moreover.
Good. What is that word, Kevin? Moreover. What type of word is that? You got this. Moreover. What type of word is that?
A transition word?
Yeah, good job with the transition word. Beautiful. And you put a 3 right on that line. So now it's maybe a little obvious. What's our conclusion paragraph? What's our conclusion paragraph? The third one. All right, Leilani, come up here and put a 4 on that line. Great job. So now we have ordered our paragraphs, so we can put a check. We ordered our paragraphs. Do any of our paragraphs need more sentences now?
Yes.
Yes? Oh, I see some very enthusiastic yeses. Awesome. What paragraph needs more sentences? Elena.
Paragraph 3.
All right, come up. And what are you going to write for more sentences?
MS.
Great job.
Right here.
Yep, you can write right next to it. Good job. Do any other paragraphs need more sentences?
Yes.
Yes? All right, what paragraph? Joseph.
The fourth one.
The fourth one. So let's count. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this one has 5 to 7. So this one have enough sentences?
Yes.
Yeah. All right. So this one's okay. Any other sentence or any other paragraphs?
Yeah.
Nathan? This second one. So this paragraph? All right. Let's count. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So even though it has 5 sentences, do you still think we should add more detail?
Yeah.
Yeah, so maybe we'll make a mental note of that. Even though it has enough sentences, Nathan, why don't you come and write more detail? Yep, MD is perfect. Even though that's not in our directions, I still think that's a good thing to note, that sometimes, even though a paragraph has the right amount of sentences, we can add more detail to make that paragraph look a little bit nicer and have a bit more information to share to our reader. So how do we feel now? Good? Now, are any of our paragraphs redundant? Are they redundant? Nikki, which one's redundant?
The second one.
The second one, so paragraph 2? Or are you saying this paragraph?
Wait, the third one, cause.
Oh, the third one?
Yeah.
All right, so what are you gonna write next to that paragraph? Good. What's a good way to fix a redundant paragraph? What can you do instead? Good job, Nikki. So if I have a redundant paragraph, how can we make it not redundant? What's a simple fix? We can, what? Griffin?
Cross it out.
We can cross it out. What's something else we can do? What's something else? Christiana?
Add more detail and like add more sentences in.
Yeah, but what about those sentences? Those sentences, should they be talking about food still? Because if we talk about food in this paragraph, what should we change about one of the paragraphs? We need to talk about something else. Talk about something else. What's something else we talk about in my opening paragraph? I talk about the what? Not the volleyball, but the, look at this last sentence. Beautiful. Beaches. That may be a great topic to talk about in another paragraph. I can talk about the great beaches they have in California, right? In Carmel. So now it is your turn to do an activity extremely similar to this. So without further ado, I'm going to pass out 2 papers, even though they're the same papers, just the order is a little bit different, so we can shake it up a little bit. So when I call your name, please come up and grab this paper from me. Christiana. And Anthony's absent today, we said. Leilani. Alexa. Sophia. And Nathan. There you go, bud. All right, everyone else, you're gonna come and grab this paper from me. So that is Lachlan, Devin, Kylan, Joseph, Elliott. Also, when you get this paper, you need to move into what mode? Great job. Put your name and date on this paper, and then let's walk through it first. So this looks like a little bit, right? Because it's how many paragraphs? Count for me. How many paragraphs? 5 paragraphs. So how many numbers are we gonna need? 5. Great job. Now I'll give you a little hint. Look for the words at the beginning of the paragraph, that opening sentence. And that opening sentence, you might find some different words that will make it very helpful to you and very easy to figure out what order that paragraph should be in the paper. So we don't necessarily need to stress out about reading the whole paper. We can read those first couple sentences that can give us a great hint about where it's gonna fall. So our directions say, what order should the paragraphs be in? Please number 1 through 5. And 1 is our what paragraph? Introduction, and 5 is our conclusion. Good. Then indicate what paragraphs need more sentences by putting MS, and what parts are redundant by writing an R. Once you are done, please come see me, and you are going to be working on your drafts. And I'm going to work with Elliot. We're going to work on getting you caught up, and then Alexa, I need to talk to you about one thing about your rough draft. And then everyone else get started. So without further ado, get working.